Welcome to lesson 2 of the Jaimini Upadeśa Sūtras course on YouTube. Now, in this lesson, we will cover the Rāśi aspects. Now, this is quite interesting because Brihad Parāśara Shastra also mentioned this already in the first chapters of his work. And so his son and disciple Jaimini starts the Jaimini Sutras also by addressing the importance of the Rāśi aspects as fundamental. Now, many astrologers intend to forget these aspects, and they are not aware that next to planetary aspects, which they mostly dive immediately in, we also have Rāśi aspects and we have Tajika aspects. Now, the Rāśi aspects were very much in use before the Middle Ages arrived some thousands of years ago. But these Rāśi aspects are fundamental to any astrological reading. Without them, it will be very difficult to predict concrete realities or concrete events because planetary aspects are mostly individually based rather than circumstantially. So I wish you very well with this lesson. It's a very important lesson. And we will see all of the little nitty-gritties and all of the details right here. Abi pasyanti rikshani parshvabe cha. So abi, two words in front of pasyanti, are seeing, rikshani, constellations or rashis, parshva, side flank, the side of any square, be is a locational rashi, cha, both and or but. So translation is in front are seeing the rashis and at the side rashi both. So this is a very important sutra. It gives the aspects of the Rāśis. So in Vedic astrology, aspects are the sites of planets. So we have Graha Dṛṣṭi, Rāśi Dṛṣṭi. It's what a Rāśi is seeing or a planet is seeing. So the first part of the sutra states that the Rāśis aspects or see in front of them. And that means when you take a South Indian chart, it's actually a Rāśi diagram because Aries and Taurus stay always on the top, which represents the east. Then the second part of the sutra, and at the side, both let us know that the Rāśis do not only aspect the Rāśi in front of them, but also on their side. And not just one side, but both sides. And this is based on the directions with the side, in this case meaning the direction at right angles. So a movable Rāśi, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, aspects the fixed Rāśis, except the fixed Rāśi right next to it. So Aries will be aspecting Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Cancer aspects Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Libra aspects Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. Capricorn aspects Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. And then vice versa. So the fixed Rāśis also aspect the movable Rāśis. So the fixed Rāśis are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So they aspect each other. The fixed Rāśis aspects the movable except the one next to it, and the movable aspect the fixed Rāśis except the one next to it. And the dual Rāśis, which is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, they all aspect each other. So Gemini will be aspecting Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo, and Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini. So as can be seen, this is kind of a difficult sutra to unweave the meaning, but like I said, all of the astrologers who have spent countless hours on trying to translate these sutras, they come to agree to this sutra that these are the Rāśi aspects. It is therefore maybe surprising that this is perhaps one of the most important sutras. Also, Brihad Parāśara mentions this already in the first chapter, before even diving in the planetary aspects. And there is because the astrologers agree on this sutra especially, there can be no controversy, and the meaning is thus for everyone. From the ancient commentators to the present age astrologers, we all agree to these Rāśi aspects. So these Rāśi aspects, like I said in the introduction, they were in common use at the time that the ancient commentators worked on these sutras, else it would be highly unlikely that such a difficult sutra would have been agreed upon in a work where everything else of similar importance is controversial. Like I said, many astrologers, they have different translations to other sutras, but they agree upon this sutra. This and the fact that Rāśi aspects are detailed at the beginning of Brihad Parāśara Sastra before giving any yogas and much of the planetary aspects has caused us to believe that Rāśi aspects have a much wider application than only the techniques given in Jaimini Sutras. So another important point regarding Rāśi aspects is the numerical correspondence of the Rāśi and why this creates the aspects of the Rāśis. Movable Rāśis are the creative, initiative Rāśis. Fixed Rāśis are the two, or the receptive Rāśis that are a reflection of the one, or fixed Rāśis. And dual Rāśis are that which happens between the one and the two, and therefore contain the principle of one and two within them. So energy can only flow from positive to positive, etc. One is positive, initiative, active. Two is negative, receptive, and reflective. Therefore, the movable Rāśis aspect the fixed Rāśis and vice versa. So this is an energetic interchange. And the dual Rāśis are both 1 and 2 and therefore aspect each other. So the Rāśis also have polarity based on their elements, whether 1 fire, 2 water, 3 air, and 4 earth. But for Rāśi aspects, we consider the polarity based on movable, fixed, and dual. So Rāśi aspects present an interesting concept. Movable Rāśis are creative. They create and are therefore changeable. The fixed Rāśis are the reflections of the movable Rāśis, and they themselves are therefore not changeable. They can only change after the movable Rāśis have changed. So each fixed Rāśi is aspected by 3 movable Rāśis. Therefore, a fixed Rāśi can only change after changes have occurred in the 3 movable Rāśis. So in order to change those things in a fixed Rāśi, the Bhāvas, or the houses, and the planets in the aspecting movable Rāśis must first be changed. And changing those things in a movable Rāśi always brings about some change in the houses and planets falling in the aspected fixed Rāśis. So anything that falls in a Rāśi, like any planetary position you have in a Rāśi, will be Rāśi aspecting. And if you have another planetary position in one of these Rāśi aspects, 2 planets will be interchanging their energies with each other through this circumstantial Rāśi energetic field. So in Brihad Parāśara Sastra, after simply and clearly giving the aspects of the Rāśis, as have just been given, the following is stated. So the aspect chakra I now mention, he says, as stated by Brahma, with which the arrangements of the aspects easily become visible. East, right, Aries, Taurus, then Cancer, Leo at north, Libra, Scorpio at west, Vibra and Capricorn, Aquarius at south. And at the northeast corner, Gemini, then at the northwest, Virgo, southwest, Sagittarius, and the southeast, Pisces, one should write. In this way, make a square or also a circle. In this way, after arranging the aspect chakra, that one can judge the aspects. So this is very directive from the Brihad Parāśara Shastra also on the square South Indian style chart easily reveals these Rāśi aspects. So you can notice how the South Indian chart, each Rāśi is aspecting the side Rāśis on right angles and the Rāśi it is directly facing. So it becomes very clear with the help of the South Indian chart. And so it is well agreed upon that these Rāśi aspects are of a fundamental truth when it comes to Vedic astrology. Then the next verse he says, Tanishtashka tat vat. Tan, thus, nishta, being in or on, situated in, cha, and both also tatvat, likewise. Thus translates those situated in also do likewise. So on account of a planet being in a Rāśi, it aspects those same Rāśis as the Rāśi it is in and influences any other planets that may be in the Rāśi that the Rāśi it is in is aspecting. So Upadeśa Sūtras contains a primarily Rāśi-based system, and this is very important, rather than a planetary-based system of astrology, which we find in Parāśara. So the planets in Jaimini Upadeśa Sūtras modify the Rāśis, make them more or less auspicious, and focalize what is manifesting through a Rāśi, but it is the Rāśi that is most important. Mars will make the Rāśi it is in hot. Therefore, any Rāśi aspected by that Rāśi also becomes hot. Jupiter is the Karaka or producer of children. Therefore, the Rāśi that Jupiter is in is a Rāśi through which children will be produced. This is a subtle but important distinction which will become more obvious later in the sutras when we will be governing career, marriage and children. So in practice, Rāśi aspects give much more concrete results than planetary aspects. So when judging those things that the individual will be connected with, it is the Rāśi aspects rather than the planetary aspects that are important. Planetary aspects, on the other hand, are more important with respect to qualifying and quantifying the influence of